What is going on, guys? My name is Griffin, but you can call me Griff, and welcome back to the channel. We have some Apex Legends patch notes for Season 7 that have been released. I think they got released at about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I'm recording this at like 2 because I was watching some videos on the new map, not going to lie, but I have not read anything, so we're just going to hop right in. The Season 7 Battle Pass is all about that high fashion. Let me tell you something, that is not high fashion, Wraith. You look like the girl from Meet the Robinsons, okay? You're not, like, no. What is interesting, though, it's basically from my understanding of how this point system works, is every level, I think, for the Battle Pass is like 10 stars or something. So you get 10 stars, you get one level, and then all the different challenges give you a certain amount of stars. We kind of knew that, I believe. For Season 7, we have removed weapons from the crafting pool and have replaced them with shield batteries. Ooh, that is awesome. The high-level attachments will still be tailored towards a weapon category. We now prevent other players from picking up items that you crafted for the first 5 seconds after crafting. This can be disabled by pinging the item. Okay. That is nice. I'm glad they're putting bats in there, man. But also, does that mean bats don't spawn on the ground? I hope not. That would suck. Here's what I want to know. Map rotations. For the first 2 weeks, Olympus will be the only map that we can play on. After that, we go into a normal rotation between Olympus and World's Edge. We will be vaulting King's Canyon for the time being. Ooh, King's Canyon is being vaulted. That's going to make some people unhappy. I'm not going to lie. Including my... I don't know. King's Canyon it's in a weird place. I don't know what they're going to do to it when they bring it back, but I think it might, need to be put to rest for a little bit. And then we knew this rank rotation, first half's going to be in Olympus, and the second half's going to be on World's Edge. And now for the juicy tidbits of information. The Legend meta. I am freaking ready, man. Bangalore. Rolling Thunder reduced time takes for explosion from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. Is that even... Dev note, not much to say here. Rolling Thunder will continue to function primarily as a zoning ability, but with a somewhat shorter fuse. It will encourage enemies to leave the zone slightly faster. Alright, hoping for another smoke grenade or something. Bangalore is just, like, so boring, man. Like, she deserves better. Caustic, ooh. Nox gas trap, Nox gas grenade. Legends no longer get a blurred vision effect while in the gas. Damage updated from 4 to 10 ticks of damage, from 6 to 12 ticks of damage. Fighting in caustic gas is one of the most frustrating things in Apex Legends, and yet we need the gas to represent a meaningful threat, or else enemies should just ignore it. With this change, we're attacking what we think is the greatest contributor to this frustration, the fact that your vision is blurred while you're in the gas. This made it extremely hard to fight back. To make up for lost power, we're upping the damage from the gas a bit. Okay. I think that's more of a nerf, man. Like, I'm look, man, the less stinky boys, the better in my eyes. Mirage. This is actually fire, and I didn't know if this was going to be true or not. This is sick. Mirage. Psych out / life of the party. Decoys now have 45 health. So now you're going to start shooting decoys, and you're not going to know which is which. That is amazing. A dev note, our Bamboozler in Chief is a hard legend to keep relevant. Every time we make a change to decoys, there's a clear uptick in usage and power as Mirage mains learn to use their new tools. And then as the rest of the world catches on and starts being able to tell the real Mirage from the equally handsome holographs, that uptick disappears. This time around, we want to try to make it a little bit harder to clear out decoys. We're giving them health, but to make this very clear up front, they will not work as a shield. While they take damage from bullets, the bullet also passes through them and hits whatever's behind them. This is what we call the hallway test. You should not be able to win an engagement against an enemy in a straight, coverless hallway by snapcasting a decoy and having said decoy eat an entire wingman shot. Decoys will also pay unique hit effects and briefly flicker out of existence when taking damage to help you differentiate between them and the real Mirage. Okay. Still. Awesome change. I'm looking forward to that. Mirage, definitely, yeah. I mean, after Season 5, man, like, he was being used the first 2 weeks a bunch, and then ever since then, I guarantee you his pick rate is just dropped. Absolute skydive, because everybody can tell now who the real one is. Okay. Octane. Now, they promised a big change during the Season 5 collection event, that he'd get a bigger buff in Season 6. Never happened. And here we are again, and he's not getting a buff. But Octane, Swift Mend, doubled healing rate from 0.5 HP to 1 HP per second. Octane is a legend for players that like to go fast, run face first to the enemy, and get knocked down a lot. We think that's absolutely fine. The fact that his trio's win rate isn't great doesn't really bother us because, both his encounter win rate, think of this as his ability to score knockdowns, and his pick rate are very healthy. That said, we figured we could give him a little extra out of combat help. His passive heal rate was very slow, requiring up to 200 seconds to fully heal your health bar. Okay. I mean, meh. I was hoping for more than that for Octane, but we were promised a small buff, so I guess that is alrighty with me. I don't know. Watson. Didn't know she was getting buffed. Watson, perimeter security, increased damage per touch from 10 to 15. Dev note. Watson is the anti-Octane, not super powerful individually, not picked very often at all, below plat, but an absolute must-have for competitive squads. We're also happy with that niche, but figured it would be safe to give her a little extra power in her best case. People running into her fences. We're aiming for this to bring up her power and attractiveness at lower levels of play, especially since we don't see a lot of players run into Watson fences in high skill matches. Fair play. Nothing really wrong with Watson, but she's definitely not a popular pick that I see. Loba. This is exciting for me, as Loba is becoming one of my favorite legends. I heard about this too. Ammo taken no longer counts towards black market's maximum. You can scoop up all the ammo in the range. Unlimited ammo. If you're in a hot drop, man, and you have your ult, boom, you can just score the entire ammo stack, the entire stack for your team. Dev note, we're taking another swing at making Loba the ultimate legend to bring to solve all your team's loot needs. We have heard your feedback that you want improvements to her tactical as well, and while that's certainly not off the table, our data suggests that her encounter win rate, how many knockdowns she gets compared to how many times she's knocked down across all matches, is quite healthy. In her trios, it's her trio's win rate that's worryingly low. Make no mistake, this is a major swing at making black market powerful. I'm excited. So apparently they like Loba they like her tactical where it is, even though I think, look dude, I'm not even asking for you to speed up the animation. All I'm asking is for you to literally just make the velocity, like make it go a little bit faster, make it go a little bit farther. I'm not asking for much. The thing, like, it just dies when you're trying to throw it sometimes, and it's just like, it just sucks. But this is a good start for Loba, as you can literally scoop up the entire ammo in the freaking range of that thing, and that's just going to be awesome. You're never going to have problems with ammo if you have a Loba in your team, and that is pretty nice, to be honest. Rampart, I'm ready for this. Sheila now takes 1.25 seconds to fully spin, down from 2 seconds. Amped Wall now takes 3 seconds to fully build, down from 4 seconds. I don't think that's enough, but here we go. Dev note, in patch 6.1 we made a small change to how long it takes Sheila to tighten her bullet spread. This didn't meaningfully increase her win rate. The other half of that change is in this patch. We don't want to change Rampart away from being a legend that requires setup, but we do want to make it faster to set up. Amped Wall should remain a mostly out of combat set ability rather than a reactive ability, and Sheila should remain an area denial tool rather than a murder machine. But like all things voice crack, these balance points exist on a spectrum, and with this patch we're moving them slightly closer to reactive / murder machine territory. I don't think it's enough. I think that another change you should have with the wall is it should just have full health from the start, and you'd make Rampart really solid. I don't think you need to change anything else. If the amped wall had more health from when it wasn't set up, it'd be great. But like, I just don't see her. I mean, look, I'm not playing in the highest level ranked lobbies, but I don't even see her in pubs, dude. I don't see her anywhere, and I don't think this helps her that much, if I'm being honest. But yet again, good start. I'm sure they have a lot. This many legends in this patch is very encouraging for the future. And my boy, Pathfinder. What do we got? Dev note. Pathfinder continues to be an overachiever in terms of win rate. The good news is that his grapple change in 6.1 didn't move his win rate by much. It went up 1% in total. We're doing two things this patch. We're adjusting his hitboxes, and we're putting in tuning for Grappling Hook that will firmly move it into buff territory. More context below. Okay. Hitbox. Pathfinder has a tall but extremely skinny hitbox. A lot of his model isn't actually shootable, and particularly his arms and legs do not represent a lot of shootable area either. Here's a before and after comparison to Pathfinder's hitboxes. I don't see much of a difference. I think his chest looks a bit bigger in my eyes. Legs look a little bit bigger from the side. Yeah, I mean, it looks bigger overall a little bit. Not crazy, but you still can't shoot whatever his little grapple thing is on the back shoulder. I can't tell much of a difference, but I'm sure we'll know by the time that we, played this season in a couple days. As you can see, there's still a lot of negative space around his arms and legs. We're hoping that by making it a little easier to hit Pathfinder, we can bring his win rate under control to the point where he can put meaningful power into his kit. Because the question is sure to come up, we are not yet removing low profile from Pathfinder with this change. Even with these increased hitboxes, Pathfinder will still be considerably harder to hit than most other characters in the game. If this change does not make a meaningful difference in terms of his win rate, we will drop low profile, but we really didn't want to take it off of him this patch only to have to put it back on next patch when it turns out his win rate spiked. That makes sense. And now, the fun part. What'd they do to my grappling hook? Grappling Hook. We're making a number of changes to Grappling Hook. In 6.1, we shipped a very conservative version of this change. Now that we know this didn't meaningfully affect his win rate or anecdotally, I can't say that word, anecdotally, I think I said it, how frustrating it is to fight him, we're shipping the much more aggressive version of this change list. We also want to make it clear that players should not be punished for chaining Grappling Hook perfectly. The speed at which Pathfinder needs to drop for us to consider Grappling Hook finish was increased from 300 units per second to 500 units per second. The maximum cooldown grapple can be set to was lowered to 30 seconds from 35 seconds. The maximum amount of travel time before a new cooldown is set is now 5 seconds, rather than being uncapped. This means that effectively you can never incur more than a 35-second cooldown. That is phenomenal. The amount of distance that you can travel before you hit maximum cooldown was roughly doubled. Thank you so much. The patch they put in, it was a good start, and they just finished it here. This is a good thing, I think. So basically what they meant by this is that when you grappled with Path and you landed, say you like grappled up and then you landed on like a hill and you kept sliding down, your grapple cooldown would not restart until you stopped moving. So you could literally grapple from atop one of the places on Kings Canyon like Cage and slide down one of the hills, but until you got to the bottom of that hill, your cooldown would not restart. So what I think this means is the second you hit the ground, no matter when it is, even if you're sliding, your grapple cooldown will slow down. I think that's what it means. But great change for Path. Hopefully this is where it should be and in a comfortable spot for him. So that is good to know. Weapon meta. We knew this from a lot of information from the early test, but R99 is out of supply drops. The R99 will be returning to normal loot pool this season with the same stats it had before it went into supply drop at the start of Season 6. Damage from 12 to 11. Ammo 20, 22, 24, 27. Prowler goes into the supply drop, and they didn't change a damn thing about it. The select fire is gone from the loot pool this season, which is why they added the new one that's going to be coming up here. Okay, fully kitted weapons, removed Devo, massive triple take, flatline volt, and the Wingman's in there, the Sentinel's in there, the Havoc's in there, G7's in there, and so it's the alternator. Can the alternator have a I don't know? Can we get the disruptor rounds back? Maybe a little bit. That'd be cool. But the Wingman being back is awesome. Sentinel in there's pretty cool. Havoc's good. G7's good. Alternator, stupid. Hemlock. they already freaking nerfed it. Increasing horizontal recoil for the first 3 shots slightly to the right. First burst when in burst mode. Increasing recoil magnitude in the later stages of the pattern. Reducing recoil multiplier in single fire mode to help compensate for additional recoil in pattern. Recoil should mostly be increased in burst mode rather than single fire mode. Reducing headshot multiplier from 2.0 to 1.75, which is 44 to 39 damage headshot against no helmet based character. That's fine. While we were happy to see the Hemlock get more attention with the recent buffs, we think it was a little too strong in Season 6. Yeah, it was. The effective range of the burst mode felt a bit too far, and the spike damage capabilities of a full headshot burst were too strong in high-level play. I would agree with that. Updated recoil pattern. It literally sucks without the turbocharger. Updated recoil patterns. Kicks up, then right, then left, then up again. So up, right, left, up. Up, right, left, up. Interesting. With 6.0, the Havoc got a new recoil pattern. This recoil pattern was a bit too erratic and difficult to control, due to multiple rapid changes in direction. We have adjusted the recoil pattern to have the same general movement while simplifying the motions required to control the pattern. Okay, that's alright. Next weapon here, the L-Star. I've heard a lot of things about this, how it's actually a pretty good weapon, so I'm excited to read this. L-Star has a new recoil pattern that kicks horizontally at first and then settles into a relatively consistent upward recoil. Players who feathered the trigger will be able to keep the L-Star in good portion of the recoil pattern. L-Star venting time after letting go of the trigger has been reduced from 0.4 seconds to 0.15. Excuse me. L-Star will now reduce heat faster when not overheated. 1.15 seconds from 99.9% to 0% change if not overheated. Still 2.45 if overheated. Interesting. The L-Star had some limitations that caused it to feel worse than we'd like. The recoil pattern snaked back and forth, which was difficult to control reliably. Additionally, firing for short bursts and then releasing the trigger repeatedly or feathering the trigger felt somewhat clunky due to the long venting time after firing and slow heat reduction. So we're reducing those pain points to improve the viability and feel of feathering the trigger and adjusting the recoil pattern to reward players who can effectively control the L-Star's heat. Interesting. Yet again, another weapon we're going to have to just try and see how it goes. I'm looking forward to that too, just because I think that the weapon meta is going to be very healthy this season again. And I'll explain why that in a little bit. Sentinel. Energized Sentinel now has a pure damage increase instead of bonus damage only versus shields, which I'm Energized Sentinel base damage goes from 70 to 88 dev notes. The Sentinel was still a bit weak. We think a good place to improve it is the Energize ability. It seems a bit too situational, only being a benefit if the opponent has under 70, or is it above? I don't know, man. Above 70 shield. So we are changing the Energizing from a disruptor anti-shield effect to an amp damage boost effect. I'm okay with that. I hope that headshot's like 160 or something. That'd be crazy. Triple take. Fire rate has been decreased. Finally. The triple take is still performing a bit too well after the most recent nerf, so we are reducing the fire rate back to what it was before the 6.0 patch. We'll be watching it in the future to see how just the integrated choke, sniper ammo increase, and new popularity affect the weapon. I didn't read that right, but cool. They nerfed the triple take again. Cool with me. Hop ups. I'm going to read this one first. The select fire receiver hop up will be removed from the loophole to make room. Thank God. It was stupid to have in the game in the first place. Quick draw, holster hop up, the new hop up. This new hop up attaches to the RE45 and the wingman. When equipped, the gun becomes quicker to raise and lower, takes less time to aim down sights, and has reduced hip fire spread, particularly when not actively moving. This should open up new opportunities to use the two weapons, especially in close quarter combat. I hope this makes the RE45 like pretty good. I hope it does. I want to definitely try that out. Evo Armor Requirements. We increase the requirements to evolve Evo Armor in order to reduce the amount of players with red Evo Armor during the end game. So nothing. I don't think anything changed from... Oh, these are damages. So you need 100 damage now to get a blue shield. You need 150 damage to get... Oh, wait. No. You need 100 damage to get your white shield, 150 damage to get your blue shield, and then 300 damage to get your purple shield, and 750 to get the red shield? Holy cow, man. Honestly, respect. Makes people use the replicators more to get that, get those armors. I think that's a good change. A lot of people have red at the end of the games, man. It's crazy. Gold kind of seems like not that great in comparison to red. So I'm kind of glad they did that. 750 damage to get red. That's a lot of damage. Phil Swift, where you at? So they changed the ring damages. They've been reduced by a significant amount, actually. I would love to see some dev notes on this. See, this is huge. I'm glad they put this here. Ring 2, 3% per tick from 5%. Particularly, this change should allow players enough time to pop a syringe if they are picked up in Ring 2. That is good shit. Because the amount of times you had to revive your buddy and you're like, you're not even going to be able to heal up. Stupid. So I'm glad they did that. You can totally rest somebody and heal up too. That is phenomenal. And those are your patch notes, ladies and gentlemen. The last thing I wanted to say was how healthy I think the weapon meta is going to be this season. Just simply put, you have 3 guns that I think that we're all going to use in every class of different ammo. In heavy, you have the wingman, you have the hemlock, you have the flatline. And last season you had the prowler. So now you only have 3 heavy weapons, I believe, that are in rotation. And then there's a Spitfire, obviously, a little more lower tier weapon. And for your light guns, people are going to be running around with the R9, the R301, and the G7 Scout. And the Alternator's kind of that lower tier, mid-tier weapon. And the RE45 will actually enter, I believe, with that pop-up. So we're probably going to see some more RE45 action, which is pretty nice. And then the energy guns. Devotion, Volt, and now the LSAR got a buff. So we have 2 energy LMGs, obviously a little weird. And the Havoc, too. So, interesting. I know we already had these, but I feel like it's very healthy to have these different sort of options in the game and the weapon meta, as well as, obviously, the snipers and the shotguns. So, yeah. Honestly, yet again, I will preach this till the day I die. This is the most balanced game I've ever played. Ever. The devs listen, they pay attention, they know what they're doing. We may give them a lot of flack sometimes for decisions they make, but I think this is just going to be an incredible season, and I'm really looking forward to using Pathfinder. And yeah, I expect I will have another upload on Tuesday, and I will have one on Wednesday, as Wednesday is the day the season comes out. However, the update launches at 11 p.m. where I live, so I'm not going to have this season like when I wake up on Wednesday. I'm basically going to have to play it through the night, which I have no problem with, but that means I can upload another video. That being said, if you like Apex Legends content, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like if you enjoyed the video, commenting what your favorite part was, hitting the bell for post notifications, and always, always, the most important part, follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description and on the screen. Without further ado, that's it for today. My name's Griff, and I'm out.